Hey, I'm Jory. I'm playing Lila, and it's good to be here.
My name is Jillian. I'm playing Gigi. It's good to be here.
My name is Eli. I play Aelphic, and it's good to be here.
Hi, I'm Jordan. I'm playing Bale, and it's good to be here.
Hi, my name is Jesse. I am your GM, and I am powered by the Apocalypse Now pizza place in Toronto. Please sponsor us. This is Many Realms. Welcome to our series of one-shots. We're playing between Season 1 and Season 2 of Many Realms. Today we are playing a game called Dungeon World, a powered by the Apocalypse game. It's an Apocalypse World hack created by Adam Coble and Sage Latora. We're playing Keep on the Shining Isle today, which is a pocket dungeon written and designed by Shel Kahn from 2017. Shel is a writer, artist, and game creator here in Toronto, and a good friend of ours. So we're really excited to play Keep on the Shining Isle.
If you like this game, you can buy Keep on the Shining Isle and other pocket dungeons by Shel at sorcererscatalog.shop or gumroad.com/portablecity. The first 10 listeners to use the discount code REALMSFRIENDS will get 15% off anything in store. That is, in all caps, REALMSFRIENDS at sorcererscatalog.shop or gumroad.com/portablecity.
Let's start by introducing the characters. We did make them off mic because Dungeon World's character creation is a little bit back and forth, like all over the place. We wanted to bring you characters that were sort of fully formed. So I think we will start with Jory's character and just go around the table and everyone can talk about the character they're playing. Make sure you mention your class, a bit about your character, and maybe we can fill in some of this kind of story background as we go.
I'm playing Lila. I'm a wizard and an elf. And Lila is very academic. She's very science-minded, considers magic more of a science than an art or even a spiritual practice. I have a thin body, sharp eyes, wild hair, and my robes are stylish and strange.
In Dungeon World, when you make your character, you select their attributes from a pre-populated list. So we will describe our characters as having certain kinds of eyes, bodies, clothes, and vibes that we've sort of checked off from a form. It's a very bureaucratic process, the creation of a Dungeon World character.
So I'm playing Gigi. She is a halfling druid, born of the soil of the Sapphire Islands. Gigi has messy hair, wise eyes, and practical leathers as clothes. And part of the born of the soil move means that I have like a physical tell that connects me to where I'm from. So I have these rainbow feathers that grow out of my body based on the lottle bird.
I'm playing Aelphic. She's a cleric. She is a priestess to Galea. Mid-20s, like very gentle. She's got a bubbly, soft body. She has sweet eyes and short pinkish hair.
I'm playing Bale the Bard. Bale is an academic as well as an artiste. He is trying to make a troupe, both to explore said artistry and bring it around the world, but also to double as a way to see more of the world and then therefore expand his research and understanding of the world outside of his small little tillage. Out of his small little tillage. He is well-fed, whatever that looks like, I guess. His eyes are knowing, his hair's wild, and his clothes are ostentatious, which is also great.
These four would-be heroes have taken up the call to track down two youths. Their names are Cloud and Carrie. They are a brother and a sister, and they have set out themselves from the tillage the village of Tillage, I believe is the name, if I got this right in my notes, to a place called the Shining Isle. You are all from this tillage, which is located on one rocky kind of outcropping of an island as part of this large archipelago that spills out into the sea. Cloud and Carrie have set out to the Shining Isle to find a cure for their sickly, sickly mother. They've heard strange rumors of mysterious and potent herbs and other plants that grow on this island, and hoping that one might be useful to them and their cause, they set out by themselves to this island, which is forbidden for them to travel, and they haven't been heard from in a couple of days. It takes about a day and a half's worth of travel to get to the Shining Isle, so it's not unusual that they haven't returned, but it's mighty unusual for anyone to have gone in the first place. No one from the tillage has been to the Shining Isle in decades, certainly. So that means it's up to the four of you to pile in a little boat and speed off after them. We're going to open in the boat the first night of travel. You left around sunrise on, call it day 1, and you'll get there by mid-morning on day 2, so you do have some overnight sailing to do. I want to ask what each of you would be doing in this boat as you are sailing through the ocean and trying to get to this island.
Aelphic is reading like a text that somebody maybe wrote about this island a long time ago, but we don't necessarily know if the information is accurate. Like, it's just some guy's journal, basically.
I think Vale probably would have experience navigating, has been out on the waters, probably a number of times, so...
You're a bit of like a traveling troubadour.
Yeah, so I think it stands to reason that you would be making sure we get where we need to go.
No, I'd love to chat, but I don't know. What is everyone else doing so that I can bother them?
You're looking at us like you want us to talk.
No, because I want to... Are there other activities that people are doing that I can interrupt?
What are you doing, Lila? And it, for God's sake, better be something interruptible.
I was going to say I'm probably preparing spells.
Great.
Super unimportant. Interrupt. Hey, Gigi, you look a little lost in thought there.
Yeah, I'm very worried about Cloud and Carrie.
I know that you had a relationship with both of them, so I know this is probably a bit hard, but that's why we're sending the Tillage's best to go and get them back.
Yeah, I just, the last time I saw Cloud, we didn't really end things off on a good note. Yeah, I don't know. He was really weirded out. I turned into a bird for like the first time, and that was really weird for him. So he left. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I feel like traveling across the sea to go save him is quite a wonderful opportunity to win back his heart, wouldn't you say?
I don't know if he would want that.
Gigi, I think you could do with a little bit of positivity. I don't know if you heard what I said before. I said we're sending the Tillage's best. Now, there's 4 people in this boat. Now, I'm very clearly qualified to be here. But the point being, everyone is qualified to be here. And what I'm trying to get at is you're one of the Tillage's best, okay? I said it, all right?
Wow, coming from you, that's really nice.
Can you turn into anything? How does that work? Is it like only what you see?
If I study a creature of the land, then I can mimic it.
Oh, Gigi, what's your favorite thing to turn into?
I've only done birds so far.
Well, I haven't seen a bird in about 8 hours of sailing this thing, so if you're looking for something to do, a little,
Do you turn into a bird, Gigi, at this opportunity?
Sure.
Also, I hate when I turn into a bird and guys just run the other way. It's like, need a king who can handle. It's rough. Anyway, yeah.
Sure, let's roll dice because it's fun.
Okay.
7.
On a 7, something happens.
I get to hold 2. I don't really know what the holds do.
Sure. Holds is when you want to do any kind of exceptional maneuver as your form, you would spend 1 hold. So what bird are you a lottle?
Yeah.
Okay. What kind of like abilities might a lottle have?
I don't know. It's like a big rainbow bird.
Okay. So you have a move I'm going to call like Dazzle. And whenever you want to distract someone, you can sort of fluff your feathers and fly about in a certain way that makes you very like bright and attractive and noticeable.
Didn't dazzle Cloud, though.
Oh.
So a hold is something you could use to use your Dazzle ability.
Sweet. Or revert back to my halfling form.
Yes. You turn into a lottle, and you start wheeling above this tiny sailboat to the, it seems, amusement and delight of all of your compatriots.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Very good form.
It's getting on in the night. It's a cloudy, moonless night, and the sea is foggy and mucky. And Bale, you're having a really hard time actually making much progress navigating towards the Shining Isle in these kind of unfavorable conditions. And as you twirl about and I don't know, maybe dazzle your friends here above this boat, you see in the distance a sort of glow is starting to spread through the water toward your little boat. It's coming from the direction you're headed in, the direction of the Shining Isle. And as you watch, a strange kind of golden gleam suffuses the fog and creeps closer and closer to your boat. It seems like it's covering a huge swath of the sea.
I make my bird call because I want people to know what's happening.
Do we understand it?
I don't know.
I think Bale, being familiar with the Lottle history, I would like to think that I can perhaps identify what she means.
Sure. Then you know that she means it's like a lookout call. It's like a something ahead call.
Well, then I guess it would. Well, then come on back and let's figure out what this is.
Great.
You come back?
Yeah, I come back. I sit on the top of the mast.
All right.
Do you turn back to you and then you're sitting on the mast?
No, I want to stay a bird.
I gotta talk to you.
I can
wanna,
understand you.
That's fair.
I want to scritch behind her bird ears.
Now does that work for birds?
I think you can like stroke a bird's feathers. I think that's nice.
The water is glowing brighter and brighter, and the light is diffusing through the fog, which is now looking like a golden steam that's surrounding your boat on all sides. It's growing so bright that it's starting to be kind of hard to look at the intensely shining waters all around you.
I would like to see if I can recognize this phenomenon.
Okay.
I'm trying to think if it's something that I have read about before. I'm going to cast a spell, which is Detect Magic.
Okay.
7.
Okay, so on a 7 to 9, the spell is going to be cast, but you either draw unwelcome attention to yourself, you disturb the fabric of reality and take a -1 ongoing to cast spells, or after it's cast, the spell is forgotten and you cannot cast it again until you prepare spells.
Oof. I guess I will draw unwelcome attention.
Okay, or put yourself in a spot.
Yeah.
So here is what I think happens. You are leaning over the boat, looking into this water, trying maybe to reach out and touch it a little bit and see if you can get any kind of sensory data. And as it's growing brighter and brighter, you shield your eyes and then you hear a massive chilling sound. Do you know when you like unplug a CRT monitor and you get that very like as like every bit of electricity drains from it? That times 1,000. This like huge. And once you hear that sound, suddenly the golden light immediately vanishes. And once again, you are staring an inch away from the dark black sea, and the shock of it causes you to recoil, and you lose your footing and tip over the side of the boat.
Ah!
I'll run to her and hold my staff out to let her climb back up.
What did I learn from the like Detect Magic part of that?
The light in the water was magic, and it was coming from the direction of the island.
How choppy are the waters?
As you take a look to see that Lila has fallen over, you can see that a huge swell is moving towards the boat, sort of in the path that the light took a moment before, and it's racing towards you, and you're going to have to do some deft maneuvering in the next 30 seconds, or you're going to be in some serious trouble.
Can I use my bird claws to try and pick up Lila?
I think if you spend a hold, you can do that, yeah.
Cool.
Lila, Gigi, in the form of a lottle bird, flies over to you and grabs at your robes and starts tugging your flailing form toward the side of the boat. You see Aelphic leaning over the railing and extending the staff out to you to grab onto.
I grab your staff for sure. Pull myself back onto the boat and I'm panting and I'm like, oh.
I maneuver the boat to actually approach the waves properly. That kind of like
That's slicey. Yeah.
Diagonally.
I think that what you are doing is defying danger. And I think that you're doing it with wisdom, your seafaring wisdom.
Yes. Okay. So what's that look like? What is it?
That is going to be a defy danger roll. So you're just going to roll 2d6 and add your wisdom modifier.
6.
Now that's a failure. So that's
I
not.
failed to turn the wheel.
Well, I think you turn the wheel properly. I think you are obviously distracted by Lila's episode there, and as the gang works to pull her up, all of the weight is now on one side of the boat. Never a good idea. And she's pulling on it quite heavily as she's trying to claw her way up over the side using Aelphic's staff. And they manage to get her over, but it rocks the boat pretty severely. It makes it a lot harder for you to plot a straight course. And I think what happens is that you try to slice this wave a bit, but you shear it pretty unevenly. And in the curve of your motion against this great wave that's rushing out, a huge amount of water lands in the boat. But you all stay inside. So the boat is now pretty full of water, which is also a bad place for a boat to be. But the wave has passed behind you.
What's the water look like ahead?
It is still mucky, but the waves, it seems settled.
I'm gonna start trying to bail us out, I guess. Boat stuff.
Yeah, let's get a bucket. Let's start scooping this out.
You scoop this water out of the boat, but I think the consequence you're going to suffer on your failure is that one of you is going to lose a piece of equipment that will have been kind of tossed when this boat nearly got flooded. So what is it?
I throw my 3 coins over the side.
Maybe I lose my staff
Okay.
because I was wiped off the boat completely.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think Lila, your staff ends up flooded over the side of the boat and off into the ocean, where it is destined to become driftwood. But other than that, if the 3 of you are working, you're able to bail out the boat pretty nicely and eventually resume a course to the Shining Isle. I guess you'll take turns kind of ruddering as you sleep through the night. And in the morning, you wake up to see the island in front of you. It is in the center of a cluster of islands that almost seem like they're tilted away from the Shining Isle, as though they were trying in their slow-moving island way to flee it. The island itself is standing on a massive cliff, so the top of it is above like really sheer cliff walls, and the only point of access is a tiny dock that's built out at the bottom of one of the cliffs, and a set of carved stone stairs that lead all the way up to the top. At the top, you can see the keep on the Shining Isle, gleaming dark stone, presumably long since abandoned. The people of the tillage don't speak much about it. The fog has lifted, the muck has cleared, and your sailing is relatively smooth.
Lila, would you have any idea of where the herbs might be?
It likes damp, warm environments, so where the woods are densest is where I think we can find it. And I think maybe Cloud and Carrie knew that.
All right, shall we make our way up?
I think so. How is everyone doing this morning?
Ready to go.
Are you still like a bird?
No, I think Gigi turned back into a halfling to sleep.
Okay, in that case, you arrive at this dock.
Is there another boat?
There's not another boat, but there is a fairly fresh-looking rope that's tied to the moorings.
Nothing we can really do if we're here to do this, so I still just dock the boat properly and...
Can we keep the boat somewhere else? Can we drag it out of the water?
Well, I think it's safer on the dock than on the water.
Well, what's the gauge? Is it feasible we can just give it a shot just pulling it?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, let's do that.
What? 4 people pulling like a small sailboat out of a dock. Difficult but doable, I guess.
Now let's make our way up, but everybody watch your steps. It's quite slippery, I think.
Yeah, carefully climb the stairs.
Okay, the stairs are quite slippery, you're right. It seems as though it hasn't rained lately, the stairs are quite wet, even very high up the side of the cliff. And at the top of the stairs, you arrive at the surface of the island proper. A road leads from the steps to the keep. That's opposite you, kind of on the other end of the island. All around it is a dark forest of large, lush trees. In the distance, you hear the sound of water flowing, perhaps a river.
Sidebar, is this like a campaign where we're gonna want to eat?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm so hungry right now.
Okay, so it looks like we're like our collective goal right now is what, the keep, or looking for the... There's no reason for us to go to the keep, I guess.
It depends on what we knew about Cloud and Carrie.
Well, we know they're looking for herbs to
Yeah.
cure their mother, which we know should grow in the forest.
Yeah, not at the keep. So.
Yeah.
So you want to head into the forest?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you looking for this herb?
Yeah, I guess so. Or we're assuming that that's where they would have gone to find the herb.
Okay. So you head into the tree line here and explore this forest. You come across a patch of vegetables, like a garden, a tillage, if you will. And here you can see an overgrown patch of vegetables that are overgrown and ill-tended. It looks like no one's been to this patch of vegetables in a long time, but the vegetables look incredibly robust and healthy. There is a tree at one end with beautiful, big, gleaming red, shiny apples that look absolutely delicious. There is a walnut tree that is weighed down with its bountiful fruit. And in the garden, there are large cabbages and winding vines of gourds. There are cucumbers. There are tomatoes loose in the dirt. And at one end, there is a pig. And it's getting its snout down into some vegetable matter. Now in this direction, as you've explored, you can also hear the sound of flowing water quite a bit louder. You're nearby some body of water.
Hello, does anybody own these vegetables? Okay, I take some.
Take some vegetables?
Yes.
Cool. What do you take?
Give me some of them cukes.
Who are you talking to?
The universe.
Galea. I take some cucumbers.
That's the way you like thank her for your bounty.
Give me some of them cukes. Do you eat them now or save them for later?
I'll save them away.
Okay. They look amazing.
I want to pick an apple.
Sure.
I want to pick 2 apples
Nope.
and toss.
No, I said just one. No, okay, you get 2 apples.
And I want to toss one to Bale. Here, catch.
10, baby. I catch the apple, right?
Yes.
Hey, thanks.
Bale, this is the sweetest, juiciest, crispest apple you have ever tasted in your entire life.
Then yeah, I guess I grab more. I grab. It's like a full, bountiful tree of apples.
Absolutely.
If I have like a stack, I guess I just fill it up.
Sounds good.
Now, sorry, I guess looking around, I still will do this, but I'm just curious. Looking around, based on all this looks obviously like this is owned by somebody or was prior.
Definitely was. It looks like this was like a tended, like food growing area that is no longer tended.
Are pigs native to the Sapphire Isles?
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to talk to this pig then.
Okay.
I can understand
Pig.
animals native to my land.
He speaks Latin.
God. Tinley, I got it.
So I wanna ask it if it has seen 2 young people come by.
Pig answers.
One of them's kind of good looking. I don't know. Whatever.
Baka.
It's a tsundere pig, which is a challenging concept for me to portray, but as I am a master chameleon, I will be able to just slip right into this, and I'll say, couple of days ago. It's eating also.
Yeah. Were they hurt?
No.
Is this food special?
Is this food special? What does the pig think the answer is to that question? The pig is like, I don't know what that means.
Okay. Is this forest dangerous?
No.
I'm guessing you relay that to us?
Yeah.
You all saw Gigi like squatting down next to the pig and like just like touching its back and being like, hey,
I assume Gigi was like speaking also in pig. Was like I don't know what's going on
Gigi
over there.
to Gigi, you're like hearing it in like your voice, but to us, we're seeing you snorting at this pig.
Yeah, maybe I don't even like realize that's what I'm doing. It's like, guys, I'm just speaking common. Like, what's up?
Bale makes note of Gigi's capacity to play a pig in future iterations of plays.
There was a stream nearby too, or something. We heard water.
Yeah, I'd like to go over to that stream and sanctify it, which keeps it pure, purified, holy, and then drink it.
dope. Okay. What you find as you head toward the sound of moving water is a fairly large pond. The water in the pond is a unearthly blue. It's like a bright, clear, shining blue. And on the pond floating is a rowboat that looks like it's covered in layers of algae and moss. There are also a lot of fish in the pond. They are humongous. The fish are maybe the size of one of you. And they don't look like any particular fish that's native to the rocky Sapphire Islands.
So I won't talk to them.
Do we think that this could be their rowboat?
Well, how would they have rowed all the way from home? That's a lot of work for 2 teenagers.
That's true, but then who left this boat here?
It looks like it's been here for years. Could be whoever lived here once upon a time. Clearly someone did.
I wonder where they went.
So what do we do? What do we do?
Can we just go around it? I mean,
Yeah, you
we
can
don't
just
need to
go around it.
Okay, we just go around it.
Okay.
We can just go around
And
it.
you're going to just keep searching the forest for these 2 youths.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't find them. There's
Yeah.
no sign of them in the woods here.
Any sign of the herbs?
That's an interesting question. How... Is this like a real herb that's like rumored to grow here but is rare, or like an herb of like legend itself?
I would say it'd be like a mix. It would be like it probably is real, but it probably doesn't have the curative properties that people are saying that it has, and so it's become almost like mythical because it's here. But it would be like it's probably just dank.
So we don't really know what it looks like?
But it's dank.
Yeah.
It is a dank herb.
So you're going by smell.
I don't think that we would necessarily know exactly what it looks like, but it's probably very broken telephone.
Okay, well, if there's nothing in the forest, I feel like if they've like become stranded on this island and they didn't go to these like bountiful vegetables, then our best bet is to look for them at the keep, right?
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree. Presumably, if that frayed rope was theirs, they would be stuck here. And so, if I was stuck here, I would probably seek Bastion at the highest point in the largest structure.
Right, so let's head towards the keep.
Yeah, that's about the long short of it, yeah.
All right.
But before we leave the forest, I do want to just like call their names out very loudly. Cloud! Carrie!
Cloud!
Cloud!
Carrie!
There's no response but the snuffling of a pig.
So I assume we head there? Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
All right. Does anyone want an apple? Does anyone want an apple?
I'm feeling a little peckish.
I don't trust these apples.
Bale double fists 2 apples because Aelphic didn't want one.
You get electrolytes. Or whatever. Whatever's in an apple.
Yes!
You can get the Gatorade out of the apple.
Nice.
And you head to the keep. but the front gate is locked and barred.
Is it climbable?
Possibly.
Is it flyable?
The party looks at Gigi expectantly.
I hate to ask this of you, Gigi, but you know.
No, yeah, fine. We'll fly. 8.
Okay, 7 to 9, you get to hold 2. You're a lottle again.
Yep.
Same moves, same stats.
I'm gonna pick each of my party members up one by one and drop them over the other side.
Can a lottle lift a person?
You did earlier to get me out of the water.
That's true. You didn't like suspend her whole weight.
Yeah, or it's like an assisted climb.
Okay. I think this costs a hold.
Yeah.
So I think you can only do it twice.
Okay.
Can someone go over the other side of the gate and look for a key?
So I take Ilfik over first.
Okay.
Thank you.
And that's you turning into a big, beautiful rainbow bird and swooping down and getting her, like, collar in your beak and, like, dragging her up the wall or, like,
it's a claws thing.
Yeah.
claws into the shoulders.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Gigi.
Ah!
Aelphic, you've been assisted and boosted and tumbled over this large keep wall. You're behind the gate, and a stone path leads toward a front door.
Okay, is there any like guard post type like outer building that might have a key?
There are 4 big watchtowers on each corner. 1 watchtower in each corner. 4 watchtowers total.
Oh boy, this is a bit spooky, but I'm gonna go on ahead a bit, okay? And then go towards the tower to my left.
You head into this watchtower, which has like a tiny little space on the ground floor and then a big set of stairs that hug each of the walls and zags up to the top. At the top of these stairs, I think that you find a big iron key hanging on a hook that juts out from the wall, a low table with a half-burnt candle. Everything in here seems very old and dusty. It looks like that this watchtower has like open windows, and it looks like plenty of like rain and like wind has blown in over the years since this keep has been abandoned, and so the place is covered in kind of dry muck. But there is a pot of flowers on the desk that are still growing with like lush vibrance and really bright trumpeting petals, even though no one's been here for years and years.
How many are there?
Flowers?
Yeah.
2.
I take them.
Okay.
And the key, obviously. And go back and open the door.
Smooth. With a huge... The door swings open, and you see Aelphic standing behind the gate, holding a pot of flowers.
Now, there are other watchtowers, so do we want to go there, or do we want to go right into the keep?
Right into the belly of the beast. Let's go into the keep.
Cloud?
Carrie?
So if I'm still a bird,
Yeah.
since I only took one person over, can I do like a big overhead loop?
Yeah. What are you looking to see?
My friends.
You leap up into the air, flap your wings, let out a high keening call, and loop around the top of the keep. You can see that the top rooms of the keep also seem like disused, dusty, and mucky. The few glass windows that were here have long since shattered. You don't see any sign of movement or anything.
I will come back to the group and perch myself on Aelphic's shoulder.
Okay.
Even though I'm very
I was
large.
about to say, what is that like? You're having a lot of fun with the elastic size quality of this bird.
Yeah. Well, bird bones are very light, strong, but not heavy.
Sure, titanium. And you're gonna head inside the keep?
Yeah.
You see stairs that seem to head upstairs to like living quarters. You see a corridor off to one side that seems to head to like kitchens and storerooms. You see a doorway in front of you that seems to head further within to the keep.
Well, if we're following the line of thinking that they're staying here, I'd say that the living quarters are probably our best bet.
That's a good point. Lead the way.
I lead the way.
You head up the stairs to the living quarters, and you see 15 or 20 identical rooms on this top floor, kind of spaced around various hallways as you tour. There are no signs of life on this floor, but you do see that there is a selection of rooms that are largely identical Each person at this keep had a sort of standard issue bed, trunk, small table, small chair, small window out of the room. It looks almost sort of monkish. You can see some remnants of the people that used to live here. Some small things like a piece of rock that has been polished until it has a nice shine to it. You also find a pile of pages that seemed like it belonged to a gardener. It's a schedule for maintaining the plants in the big garden that you found outside. And it also has notes that seem very, very old about creating some trade deliveries with other islands. But as far as you're aware, no one's been to this island in several decades.
What are the deliveries on the page? Like, is it anything?
It seems like they were just shipping like simple fruits and vegetables. And it seems like in return, they were looking to acquire unique like artisan goods, spinning machines, specialty tools, stuff so that they could eventually make fewer and fewer trades as you see the pages sort of dwindle and eventually stop having contact with the outside world at all.
Do we know about the history? Because you said decades, so this is recent history. We might have an idea of what we think happened here.
Tell me who would know anything about this island of you.
I'd say either me or Bale, because you said you study history.
Yeah, I think I would know like some of the folklore.
Okay. I think you would probably know, broadly speaking, that travelers came to this island in the hopes of creating a self-sufficient farming community. And that seems to be to some vague religious reasoning. You're not sure on the intricacies of whatever faith they followed, but they wanted to create their own kind of compound, as it were. So they brought people there. They tried to gradually and then firmly cut off contact with the outside world. And then after a while, the general understanding is that whatever they wanted in this island out of their community didn't seem to occur, and they all left or died out or disappeared.
I mean, I can sparse that information. I'll relay it to the party.
Seems like this is consistent with those stories.
Are we satisfied with everything on this floor then? Like, does anyone want to explore
Based
more?
on all this, the curiosity and talk of the soil and the food and the pig and all that, maybe the kitchen's a good spot to go look.
Cool. The kitchen is a good spot to go look. You win. No, but it looks like there have been visitors to this kitchen recently, and it looks like those visitors set up camp.
In a kitchen?
Well, not a tent, just like camp. By the hearth, there are some bedrolls and a chamber pot. There is a bucket that looks like it's full of water from the pond. It looks like people have been recently trying to chop and stew some of the vegetables that you found growing outside, because you can see onion peels and carrot stems and rinds of different fruits and old leftover stew cold in a pot on the stove. On one of the bedrolls, you see a blue sweater that you know belongs to Carrie.
Does it look like they got a chance to eat the stew?
Yes.
Well, we can either wait here and hope they return, or keep exploring.
We've now confirmed that they're here. I think it would be good to press on, perhaps.
I want to, move the things around here so that if they come back, they know someone else has been here.
Oh, good idea. Okay.
Can we just leave a note?
No, you have to do some crazy shit with the bowls.
Yeah, I definitely have paper and pen.
What's the
Right.
note say? Cloud! Carrie!
Please reach us at 647.
A warrant has been issued for your arrest by the Canadian government.
I mean, I feel like it'd be something to the tune of, Dear Cloud and Carrie, a number of your friends from the tillage have come searching for you. It seems we have found your little bastion. Please remain here. Once you get this, we will come for you. With love, your friends.
I want to sign it with a bird footprint.
Nice.
Yeah. You're still in bird form until you spend your hold.
Yeah.
So you're just trotting around. There's kind of one other area which is sort of the center of the keep that you haven't traveled to yet.
Let's.
From the entrance to the keep, you head through the main corridor and enter this sort of large chamber with a vaulted ceiling. You see in front of you there is a locked iron door, and in front of that, there is a small staircase that winds down underground into the basement of the keep.
I try the key again.
The front door key?
Yes.
I don't think it would work. It's like a big, heavy, like gate key, and this is like a people-sized door.
Being basically civilians, I feel like we can't really do much about the door, and I think we should head downstairs.
I would like to cast light. Any item I give glows with arcane light, as bright as a torch, gives off no heat or sound or fuel. I lost my staff, so I guess I'll do it with like a book.
Okay. You have to roll to cast a spell.
12.
Woo!
That's a really good roll. The spell is successfully cast. You light up a book. So are you going to lead the way with this glow book down?
Sure. I love a glow book.
Okay. Down at the bottom of the stairs is a different room. It looks like it might have been some kind of sacrifice chamber.
Ugh.
This room has been dug into the dirt, and there is a large open pit in this basement chamber. At the bottom of this pit, there are skeletons. Innumerable, ancient, bleached, and dusty in the bottom of the darkest part of this fortress. Behind the pit is a door that seems identical to the one that was on the main floor, except that it's unlocked. All around you are also piled bodies that look unusual. They are elongated a little bit, not like manually, but it seems like everyone who lived here was very tall, thin, to a sort of uncanny degree. You can see that some of the pigs have chewed their way through the flesh of these creatures and left them nothing but untouched bones that seem to almost glow.
I'd like to cast Detect Magic on those bones.
Okay.
11.
On an 11, you are checking out these glowy bones. They have the same kind of glow as the light in the water that you saw, and even the same kind of shimmer that imbued the waters of the pond. It's this sort of ambient, kind of suffusing energy that seems to, in a very like organic way, have permeated every creature and animal and plant and man and beast that's on this island. So it's hard to name the precise nature of it, but it's easy to infer that it's something that these people got by eating this food, by drinking this water, by living here, by walking on this soil. These characteristics were passed on to them.
Aelphic does not like all of these dead bodies. She's gonna start saying a whole lot of prayers, and I don't think I want to cross this room.
Well, what's the path to get out of the room? Is it through them?
You would have to go around this pit that also has like kind of bodies and skeletons piled around the sides of it. Just walk through a room, but it's a very spooky room.
Too spoopy for me.
No, Aelphic. Okay, listen. Hey, look at me.
And I with one eye closed, I'm scared, but I'm looking.
Now, I know it's tough, but are you brave?
No. I would feel wrong touching these bodies. It feels...
No one said you had to touch them. We'll avoid them altogether. You can even close your eyes if you like.
Okay, she closes her eyes.
I start trying to pull her across the room.
Okay.
I'd be like, we get somewhere and be like, okay, you're gonna have to take a big step here. Just, yeah, like that.
Are you gonna head through the door?
Yes.
Can you relay that information about the food?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I dump the apples in the pit.
Okay. Fantastic. Behind this second iron door, it looks like there is a small temple. On the walls are painted imagery and writings that show very, very long people bringing forth bounty to a group of what look like regularly proportioned humans. You can see long people handing shining red apples to these regularly sized people. You can see them working side by side, growing plants, fetching water, and they're sort of given this sort of divine status. They're deified, right, in these writings. You can see some writing about how the food and drink that the sweet ones gave us made us all better, and it fixed us. We wanted to go with the sweet ones, but we couldn't. So we'll wait for them to come back. Also in this room, there is an altar carved of black spruce that looks like it's been roughly pushed into the corner. You can see the scuff marks from where it usually sat, and where it usually sat is above a trapdoor in the floor. You still a bird?
Yeah.
Okay. What's that like?
Gigi flaps her wings and is like looking around like frantically. Like, where are these children?
I might open the trapdoor and just like shine the book in from above to see if I can like see anything.
You don't have to. When you open the trap door, light floods into the room. Clean, pale, bluish light, and a short drop leads you into another chamber that is directly abutting the one that you're sitting in. You can peer down into the trapdoor and you can see what look like some plants growing.
I'm gonna drop down.
So you are in a room that looks like it is made from some kind of crystalline substance. And it also looks like you've dropped down into it sort of sideways. On one wall to your left, there are beds of plants that are growing. It seems almost like straight out, defying gravity slightly. And on the opposite wall to your right, where the ceiling of this room would be, is this bright bluish light that is just sort of rolling off the top of this crystalline structure.
Gigi doesn't touch the ground. She would just like to hover.
Okay.
This is weird.
You're also a hummingbird. There is a door carved into the ceiling at one point that seems to lead deeper into this crystalline structure. There are small sweet peppers growing on a trellis, and Bale, to you particularly, they look and smell amazing. They are mouth-wateringly crisp and cold and sweet, and they're the first thing that catch your eye and inflame your senses when you head into this chamber.
If they're not making me do anything, there's no way I would touch them.
I think they are kind of making you.
Okay, what's happening?
You are being tempted to eat this food.
Do I still have like all my senses? I'm just like moving closer towards it.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening, but I literally can't resist the urge to eat these peppers right now, and I need somebody to stop me because this is clearly not a good. They look so
Claws
good.
on the shoulder.
They look so good.
trying to
No,
drag
stop! They look
backwards.
so good.
I'll help too. I'll
Just
push
one.
them.
How can
Alright.
one do anything? It's just one.
Well,
little
this is
pepper.
all happening.
It's
I'm
like
gonna
one
go
bite.
examine the peppers.
Lila, they look fantastic. You can picture them crunching between your teeth.
Yes. Lila, it could just be one. If you know, just one little pepper.
I'm gonna detect magic, but I'm also probably gonna like take a bite.
Yes.
So that detect magic roll is 13.
I'm trying to like think what like looking at more of this food will teach you. That's the thing. Like I'm
Yeah.
not sure what.
I ate it. I took a bite.
Okay. You should roll against Constitution.
Damn.
12.
Okay, you get a +1 ongoing to strength and dexterity. You feel invigorated as you eat this fresh, delicious pepper. I love vegetables.
Lila, why did you eat that?
Well, it really revitalizing. It must have some kind of magical properties that enhance the body.
Do you feel normal? You feel good?
Yeah, I feel great. I toss you one because
Oh, yeah, I dived right in there.
Okay, roll with Constitution.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I know you had your lovely bird hands stopping me, but
Bale, resist.
that is an 8.
Okay. You also get a +1 ongoing to strength and dexterity and a -1 ongoing to Constitution. As you and Lila eat of these sweet, sweet peppers.
Ooh, baby.
Aelphic and Bird Gigi, you watch as these two start munching down on this delicious, delicious food.
Please don't eat any more.
Well, I mean, if one felt good.
Where does this like chamber go?
There's a door carved into one wall that seems to lead to a similar chamber that kind of tilts deeper into the earth.
I don't know if I want to still be a bird anymore because I want to find my friends with my voice. So I will spend my other hold to turn back into a person. Stop eating. We have a mission. Cloud and Carrie could be in danger. Let's go.
That's right.
Cloud? Carrie?
And you head further into the structure?
Yeah.
If they go ahead, I guess I would sneak another pepper.
Okay. Roll against Constitution.
So 6. Oh, wait, 7.
7. An additional +1 to strength and dexterity, and an additional -1 to Constitution.
Oh, yeah.
And the more you eat of this food, the more delicious it seems. The more tempting and yummers.
How many of these are left?
The peppers? You've probably eaten most of them at this point, the two of you.
I want to like throw the rest up the hatch.
Okay.
Well, my strength of being a performer and constantly facing rejection and harsh criticism has allowed me to steel my nerves and my hunger to not consume anymore.
But to consume the first two.
Yes, that was for me.
All right, we continue on.
The next room, the wall is spilling over with luscious, plump, fat, purple grapes.
What is going on?
Don't
man.
everybody close your eyes and hold hands. We are not eating any of this. If
As
you
far as I can tell, there's no real negative repercussions.
Yeah,
to
I
this.
actually
it's a
feel better.
distraction.
I feel kind of good.
Okay, Gigi, you get Lila. I'll get Bale. Let's pull them out.
Great.
I think that now, obviously, I've had that was like me succumbing to that. After seeing a literal pit of bodies and the imagery that's associated presumably with this food, I feel like it would have to be quite, I'm going to swear, fucking compelling for me to consume anymore.
Lila thinks those are just folklore anyway, and as far as she can tell, the evidence says the fruit is good. So I'm gonna try and grab the grape.
I threaten you with my spear. I say,
Whoa!
don't put that in your mouth.
Gigi, these grapes, though, Gigi, you need to roll against Constitution.
But I haven't eaten anything.
I know. That's how good these... I told you they're quite fucking good.
Oh, no, that's a 6.
You want to eat them grapes, I think.
Okay, so Lila goes to grab them, and I threaten her with my spear, and I just, like, rip them from where she was gonna rip them and start popping.
Yeah, you're like, they're mine, you can't have any.
And roll Constitution again.
Again.
That first was to tempt you, and the second to see is the effect of it.
7.
On a 7, +1 strength and dex, -1 con, ongoing.
Do I need to roll?
You do. Everyone needs to roll for these grapes, I think.
I mean, Lila's not trying not to eat the grapes.
Yeah, then just eat the grapes.
Again, I feel like should I not be able to resist it now that like I know this association with it?
Yeah.
10.
5.
Okay. Aelphic, you get a +1 to strength and dexterity with no penalties. Lila, you need to roll a d6.
4.
You lose 4 points of health. You're eating these grapes and you can sort of feel, call it like more of like a curious tummy situation.
I do have a curious tummy. It's part of being an academic.
When I went to school, they said, sharpen your mind and empty your tummy.
Classic academic type.
Try and continue on and get out to the next one.
Do you already have grapes?
I didn't have grapes. I had 2 of the peppers.
The more different new foods that you see, you do need to roll again to resist them.
Okay.
Them's the breaks.
Well, this is not good.
Yeah, that's kind of the idea.
0.
Okay, then you will eat these grapes, and you need to roll again against con.
What? Just 1d6?
2d6, like the same roll. The first is again to be tempted to eat it, and the
Got
second
it.
is to see the effect.
7.
Again, +1 strength and dex, -1 con.
God.
Oh boy. What is your con at now?
-4.
You actually can't win these rolls anymore.
I managed to just barely squeeze that one. I got 10.
Are you gonna keep heading through the structure?
I'm gonna try.
Yeah, I imagine Cloud Carrie came down here. They probably ate the same things. So maybe they're still down here eating.
As you head into the next chamber, you seem to have entered a central hub of this bizarre crystal building. There's a sort of outer ring of this chamber and an inner ring. On the outer ring are platforms, and on the platforms are people who are sleeping. At least a dozen or more on these platforms that wrap around the edge of this large chamber. And on the inner ring, there is a door against the wall, and the door is taller and narrower than an average door. And in front of that door, sleeping, is Carrie.
Is she like elongated?
She looks okay.
Okay, I want to run down and try and wake her up.
Okay, you shake her awake, and she opens her eyes. She's clutching one of the spoons from the kitchen that she has carved into a very crude shiv, and she's whimpering and she looks up at you. She seems not to recognize you. She
Carrie.
says, "They're coming back. They're coming back. They're coming back.
Who's coming back?
We have to keep them out, or we're gonna go. We have to keep them out of here."
Who?
She seems to not be so much in talking to you, or even directing these words to you necessarily. She seems reluctant to move from the door as well.
I want to like caress her hair and try to calm her down a little bit. Carrie, sweetheart, do you remember us? It's me, Aelphic, and this is Lila and Gigi and Bale, and we miss you very much.
Where are you? What's going on? Why are you here?
Well, we haven't seen you in a while, and we came to come find you because we were worried about you. You and your brother, Cloud.
She looks down and her hands have been tightly gripping this little spoon knife. Someone should invent that in her hands, and suddenly it snaps. And she drops both the pieces, and she looks up at you, Aelphic, with haunted green eyes, and she says, Cloud is gone.
What do you mean Cloud is gone?
They took him through the door.
What?
What's on the other side of this door?
More of this place, but it's huge and it's strange, and I tried to get him back, but they were chasing me and I ran away, and I shut the door, and I've been staying here.
Who?
The people, the creatures, they're so tall and they're so... I don't know, I didn't understand what they were saying.
Who are all these people?
I don't know.
Have they been awake since you've been here?
No.
Is something keeping you asleep?
No, I was tired from watching the door. But I feel sleepy when I'm here, and I'm so hungry.
Does adventuring gear come with rations?
Rations, I believe, is a separate item listed.
I have rations. I have dungeon rations.
She has dungeon rations.
I'm gonna give Carrie one use of rations.
Okay. She eats like some hardtack, like crackers and like a bit of salami. She says, "It doesn't taste very good. All the food here tastes so amazing."
Carrie, have you been eating the food here?
Yeah, we ate some vegetables when we got here.
How many times?
I don't know, twice?
Carrie, if we go in there, do you think that you could come with us while we bring back your brother?
Do you think he's still alive in there?
We have to check.
Well, yeah.
And sweetheart, I don't know if I can ask you to go back through those other rooms without eating the grapes.
She says, "Yeah, I'll stay with you and we'll all go back together."
I give her a reassuring embrace.
I don't know how we're gonna get through this door. When I shut it, it wouldn't open. I tried to go through again to look for Cloud, but the door is stuck or shut or something.
Bale is pretty strong now, I think.
Fucking right. Yeah. Yeah.
I feel at least 3 times stronger than I ever have in my life. Let's get at her. Pitter patter.
What are you using to do that?
My father's mandolin.
Shut up. You're gonna make the door cry.
I got a short sword. That's all I got.
Okay. So you start short swording this crystal door. Yeah, I think you've had... How much food have you had? How many doses?
I have three doses active.
Okay.
I've had 5,
Fuck.
if you count the apples.
Yeah, I think you can, with limbs that seem maybe just a hair longer than normal, reach around and draw this sword and start carving up this crystal. It makes short work of your sword, and I think it's probably going to ruin your sword if you use it to completely get all the way through.
Sure.
But it's possible.
That's fine.
The pieces start chipping away and shattering, and as each piece comes loose and lands on the ground, it starts to sort of glow with the same light as the bones that you saw earlier. And once this door has been torn asunder and all that remains are the sort of jagged crystalline edges of the frame, you find another chamber, which is smaller. It looks like a single person's bedroom kind of thing. It's not even really a bedroom, it's just a workroom that has a bed in it. And on that bed, on a small crystal platform, sleeping, is Cloud.
I run immediately, calling Cloud's name.
You run up to Cloud's unconscious form, pushing past Bale, who's just carved open this whole crystal portal. Do you try to wake him up?
Yeah.
Okay. You are slapping his cheek gently, and his eyes are fluttering open when the other door in this room opens. And in will walk two creatures. They are clearly the figures, or a type of the figures that you saw depicted in the paintings and writings in the altar room above you. They are tall, thin, with long tapered fingers and elegant swan-like necks. Cloud also, who is starting to wake up, is not looking quite like his usual self. His features are sharpened, more defined. He looks beautiful. The bend in the bridge of his nose from when he got into the fist fight during the last Harvest Festival has been straightened out. The whites of his eyes are clean and bright. His teeth are long and perfectly straight. And
Long teeth are good now.
long teeth are sexy and hot. And I'm tired of you guys oppressing Jordan for his long chompers, calling him Wolf Boy and Crocodilio and all those kinds of mean names that you made up for him is really, really disrespectful. What was I saying? He looks different, and he gazes up at you serenely as these two people march forward into this room, and they speak in this high, reverberating voice that seems to come as much out of their mouths as out of the walls of the crystalline structure around you. And they say, "Please move back.
No, you can't have him.
It is not safe to disturb him at this time.
What have you done?
You will hurt him if you continue.
No, you're hurting him.
No, you."
Hurt him how?
One of them moves to put their hand on your shoulder, Gigi, and pull you away from Cloud's farm.
No, don't touch me. I back up myself.
These two step forward in front of Cloud. "Please be calm."
We're calm. We just want to take our friend home.
They look at each other sadly. "I am not sure if that is possible."
Why? Oh my god.
That was cute.
Just keep it.
We're leaving it.
"He is too far gone."
No, what have you done? This is your fault. This isn't right. He doesn't belong here.
"You are correct. He doesn't belong here. But now I am afraid he cannot leave."
Why? What do you mean?
They gesture to his changed form, his long limbs. He has become, you would say, tainted. He cannot return safely.
What would happen?
He would die.
How is his sister reacting?
Elphick, you're closest to her, like physically and emotionally. If she starts moving into the room, are you going to try to restrain her? She seems very agitated, obviously.
No, probably. I probably wouldn't restrain her.
Okay. She marches up to these long creatures, and tears are streaming down her face, and snot's running out of her nose. She goes, "You give me back my brother right now. He didn't. This is not his fault. We didn't know anything was going on. You stop it." And she sort of wants to ineffectually wail and kind of like slam her fists against these creatures that are almost twice her height. One of them looks down, confused, and gently passes a hand over the top of her head, and she sinks to her knees and starts sleeping again on the floor.
Don't do that to her.
"She was hitting me."
What is happening to him?
He is acclimating to the biological necessities of life on Alroyav.
Alroyav?
Alroyav.
Where is that? How do you get there?
I do not think you can travel to Alroyav. You would die.
Is it another island?
You could think of it that way. You would be wrong. It is another planet.
Okay. I'm a bit in disbelief because like you can't go to other planets. Duh.
Exactly, you would die.
Nobody can go to other planets, so how would you go?
We have reached sufficient technological capabilities, allowing us the ability to travel between worlds.
So you can move between worlds, but you can't fix this?
No, I also don't like that tone.
Well, I'm really upset. So I'll use any tone that I want, actually.
I apologize. We did not anticipate this infestation
Infestation?
of our property.
But nothing says, like, keep out. Don't come here.
Perhaps you are able to live on our land.
Not effectively, no.
Wow.
But you're still alive now, which means somehow Cloud can come back to the island and survive.
We can only survive here because we have installed an Alroyav greenhouse. Cloud sits up at this point, and he swings his legs over the edge of the platform that he's been sleeping on, and he looks over at all of you and he says, "What's going on?
Cloud?
Gigi?
Yeah,
What are you doing here?"
coming to get you.
Oh. The Alroyav are excited that he is awake and begin crowding him and kind of bending around and examining his limbs and his face. No, it's clear he's too far gone. He cannot be coming with you. Cloud looks over at you and he says, I feel really weird, Gigi.
Yeah. You look a little funny.
What's going to happen to me?
I don't know. I don't understand this.
I just wanted to find... For my mom, I just wanted to find some herbs. And I thought... They said everything grew here.
Yeah.
There is some beeping and chiming from deeper within the complex where the Alroyav emerged from. And one of them heads through the door, and you can see that inside is a sort of office. There is a long table with a strange, bizarre kind of console on it, and you can hear a vibrating sound, this heavy rumble, and then a familiar sound as the lights on the ceilings of these crystal rooms start to intensify. You hear a... And maybe in the distance, one of you can hear the crashing of waves.
What is that? What did you just do again? We saw that before.
It is a communication signal
Communicating with whom?
with some other interplanetary travelers. It's good news. There's someone passing through who can take us and take some of our guests back to Alroyav. And the other creature starts to head out to the outer ring and grabs one of the sleeping bodies and scoops it up and starts carrying it back down into Cloud's sleeping chamber.
Whoa. Stop. Hold on. Don't take him. And I'll, like, try to pull the person back.
The Alroyav is not expecting this turn of events, and this person gets dropped to the floor. You cannot condemn these people to death by leaving them here.
That can't be the only option. These people, they shouldn't be forced to go if they don't want to. Cloud, do you want to go live on Alroyav for the rest of your life?
I don't want to die, if that's the other.
I can't imagine that's the only other option. You can't just change someone's biology by feeding them lots of fruit.
He holds up a hand that has, like, super long fingers.
Well, it at least goes to say that if you can go one way, you can come back.
Is that true? And the Alroyav say, do you have a theory you'd like to share with us?
My theory is that you are withholding information.
Why would we withhold information from you?
You want these people to come to your home planet for whatever reason.
You haven't even asked us what we wanted.
What do you want?
We want to operate our greenhouse here peacefully. We have been prevented in doing that by an infestation of humanoids.
Infestation.
Well, they came in here and ate of our food without permission. Admittedly, we are not without blame. We did not do a good job of sealing the perimeter of the greenhouse, and our light systems have affected the biology of this island. For that we are sorry, and it seems only fair that we might carry these people to a safer place where they can live the rest of their days peacefully.
Have you ever done the work to see if there's no way to make it so they can go home?
We are not sure, and we are afraid that if we let the people go, they will die, and it will have been our fault.
But you don't know that they would die. You just think they might.
Without correct intervention, they will die. We do not know the means of correct intervention at this time. We cannot have them live without the proper parameters.
What if we start research now? You have this place here. We can come and go as we wish. Can we work together to find a solution?
You should attempt to parlay with them, I think.
6.
A 6, a failure.
Can I help?
You can roll to aid if you'd like to roll plus bond with Lila.
We have bond.
We have bond. What is bond?
Just plus the number of bonds.
We have 1 bond.
Okay. 10.
Okay, so you have aided Lila. Would it say under aid or interfere there on the basic move
You
sheet?
give them like a +1.
So that brings you up to
7.
a 7, a mixed success.
It's not a failure.
Good enough. It's better.
Take it.
On a 7 to 9, they need some concrete assurance of your promise right now. They're not like emotionally negatively attuned to the idea of like working together to come up with a solution. I think they just don't imagine you as being able to like help with this problem.
I have been studying magic for my entire adult life, and who's to say that the principles that I've been studying can't help with this situation?
Show us this magic.
I'm gonna cast telepathy on one of the aliens.
All right.
11.
Shit.
So I go and I put my hand, not on their shoulder because it's high, but maybe on their forearm.
Yeah, which is low.
I telepathically communicate maybe my commitment to this cause, to how I also think the interplanetary cooperation can help both of our societies and maybe better not just our Earth, but their place, the place that they
Yeah.
hail from.
Yeah. The Alroyav is shocked that you were able to communicate with it telepathically, and its eyes go wide and it jerks its arm away. The other one comes rushing out of the inner office that it had been working in, and the two of them confer in high, delicate chimes that seem intensely urgent. And then they turn back to you and look at you, Lila, with curious new appreciation. This is very interesting. We had not considered the capabilities of which humans are clearly possessed. Can all of you do that?
I turn into a bird.
Ah!
I think I have to roll for that. 10.
Hold 3. One of them runs forward and starts examining. The other one looks to you, Aelphic and Ubale, and say, "What do you do?"
I have the same rote light as Lila does, so I'm gonna touch the floor and try to like make it glow.
Okay.
10.
They like that. That's good too.
Well, my long ligamented friend, I can do this. And I pull out my father's mandolin. And I pluck away.
That is very nice. It may be possible to continue research and see what options are available to us, but there are some limitations. The Alroyav tell you that if you want to stay and work with them and figure out some research, that means that you would need to commit to staying here for the rest of your life. Living on this island forever, because the only way they can preserve your life is to have you in proximity to their greenhouse.
Okay. I will stay here if there's a way for me to convey information to the outside world.
I can do that. Not only am I a wonderful sailor, but dare I say I am the greatest storyteller and news bearer and distributor in all of the world.
But you've had the most food of anyone.
What do you mean, I can't leave now?
It will be the most difficult for you to leave and stay alive.
I don't want to stay here.
That is unfortunate. You have only had a few samples of our food. If you were to leave, I do not imagine your lifespan would be dramatically shortened.
Presumably, we will be able to solve this problem anyway, and it will be a non-issue.
How many years am I trimming off?
There's no way of knowing your unique physiology and the properties of the food that you ate and the harvest cycle. There's too many factors.
I'm just looking for best guess.
10 years
10 years.
off your life.
You know, you know what they say, live fast, die from eating fruit young.
We do say that.
So
Bad girls do it well.
I would love to leave this boring ass island.
That is, you are welcome to, but if you are to return ever, you must bring no one else, and you must not transport any food or goods from this place to anywhere else to avoid contamination further.
I think Aelphic and probably Bale will like go back to their home, but like periodically come and like give you normal food and stuff.
Chill.
Stuff like Cheetos that you can't get here on the island.
Ketchup chips.
Ugh.
Yeah, I would want to go back and probably, come back to get a record of these people. And whether that has to stay here or something, and the information doesn't leave with me, I still would just want to chase that curiosity.
Okay. What about Gigi? Your man's here, but he's all crystal zapped, and he don't want to know what's going on.
If you're a bird, I'm a bird.
Okay, so I'm still a bird. How does Cloud react to my bird form now?
Oh yeah, you turn into a bird. He doesn't run away. He looks you up and down as you're like flapping around and dazzling the aliens in this room, and he says, "Wow, is that a lottle? That's so beautiful. I haven't seen a lottle in days. I love their singing so much. Do you know any lottle songs? The one about the milkmaid in the bucket?" No, but he's a lot chiller about it. And he says, "Gigi, come here." And he sticks out his forearm?
Okay.
Whole body?
Well, it's an elongated form, so it's almost like
Hey.
it's meant.
If you're a bird, I'm a roost.
Yeah.
I gingerly land on his outstretched limb.
He looks at you with these big, kind of haunted, shining eyes, and he says, "Gigi, I'm so happy that you came here, that you came to find me. It really means a lot, but I think you should go. And I think you should take Carrie with you and make sure that she gets back safe. I don't think it's fair to Mom for both of us to be gone. Can you do that for me, Gigi?"
I hop off his arm and I turn back into myself. And I just give him a big hug and say, "Yeah, I can do that."
Maybe Lila starts continuing to speak telepathically with these creatures and starts asking for a layout of the structure and what the functions are of all the rooms and the measured effects of like, oh, how much has this person eaten over how many years? Okay, and that led to this result. Interesting. Cloud says a solemn goodbye to Carrie and tells her to watch out for their mom. Says it's probably for the best they didn't find any herbs to give her here anyway, because the food in here is kind of whack. And Bale and Aelphic, I think, lead the kind of solemn charge out of these crystalline catacombs and up to the front of the keep, taking Carrie and taking Gigi down the long, slick stairs to the dock, where the boat is still resting, and getting in and sailing off into the distance, back to the tillage. And maybe over time, Lila's endeavors are fruitful, and she learns more about these mysterious people and the work that they were doing here on this island. Maybe Aelphic and Bale and Gigi become secret keepers of a sort, who check and see if there's been any progress, make sure that Lila and Cloud know that they're not alone, that there are people who are watching out for them, bring them news of their families on the mainland, and maybe every now and again, sailors in taverns all over the archipelago start to spread tall tales and rumors of the lights that now appear at night in the many windows of the keep on the Shining Isle. Thanks for listening to this episode of Many Realms, part of Many Realms. Geez, I think Jillian called it Purple Sparkle Moon. something like that. Our sort of like season 1 plus collection of one-shots where we're jumping into a few different systems as we gear up for season 2. This has been our game of Dungeon World. Again, that was the adventure The Keep on the Shining Isle by the fabulous Shel Kahn, and you can find all of Shel's works, including this pocket dungeon, at portablecity.net. And you can also check out more of the Many Realms, including our other one-shots and our D&D 5e campaign Tallow at therealmscast.com or on Instagram, Twitter, etc., at the